JordsWoodShop is sponsored by Minimax and by I Would Like. Check out their products at iwouldlike.com. So as I'm sure you guys are aware by now, I recently picked up this combination machine here for my new workshop, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to show you guys the method I rely on when getting machines home from the showroom and into the workshop. When it comes to big heavy pieces of machinery like this, I will always opt in for the option of picking it up because getting it delivered to your door is very expensive. Now, to give you an idea of the cost, last time I was looking at getting this bandsaw here delivered, I was quoted $90, but then when I told them I didn't have a forklift and would require a tail lift truck, it went from $90 to $350 because for some reason here in Australia, a tail lift truck costs 4 times as much. Now I rely on 2 key pieces of equipment for moving machines around. Now the first thing is my trailer, and the second thing is my 1.5 ton engine crane. With these 2 things alone, I've been able to move everything from my bandsaw mill all the way up to my 1.5 ton panel saw, and I haven't died yet. So obviously not everyone's going to have an engine crane sitting around in their backyard, or a trailer for that matter, but for about $35 a day you can hire yourself a trailer, and for $20 to $25 you'll easily be able to get yourself an engine crane. Now picking up the machine is the easy part, so you'll drive down to the showroom with your trailer, get the guys to load it onto your trailer with their forklift and strap it down and be on your way home. Now really the hardest part of this whole operation is backing the trailer into your driveway if you haven't done it too many times. Now getting the machine from the trailer and into your workshop, that can be the tricky bit. Now for some machines which come delivered to you in lots of different pieces, so smaller table saws, jointers, things like that, it's just as easy to open up the box on the trailer and unload it piece by piece into your workshop. But for some machines like this Minimax machine here, which comes pretty much fully assembled, that's obviously not going to work, and we need to use something else, and that's where the engine crane comes in to save the day. Now generally your machines will have some kind of lifting point like this one here, so it's like an eyelet where you can hook your crane directly into it and away you are. Now that's when it's nice and easy, but there are some cases where a machine doesn't have any specific lifting points in particular, and that's where it pays off to have a couple of these. So this is just a round lifting sling, and you can get these when you're hiring your crane, just ask for them to be included. I prefer a round sling like this and about 2 meters in length, and it's a lot easier to use. So you'll just kind of wrap it around your machine, try and get it nice and central, and then you'll hook it up to your crane and away you are. Now it can be a little bit tricky, so make sure you research on the best ways to secure a sling, but generally that's only really the case with very old machines or with those lighter machines, which is probably just easier to manhandle into place with a friend or 2. Now the Minimax uses something different again, so instead of having just a single eye where you would hook up your crane, it has 3 different points which is inside of the casework where you would connect your lifting rings or something like that. Now ideally you would use 3 things like this. So this is a lifting hook, so you would slide that into the casework, attach all 3 chains to a big shackle at the top there, and just lift it away with your crane. But I don't have 3 of these and they're pretty uncommon, so instead of that I used something a little bit different. So what I used was these. Now these are my 2.5 ton ratchet straps, and they are super heavy duty. Now I was able to put the hook into the holes in the casework and then attach all 3 straps into a nice big shackle like this one. Once it was all secured, I was able to lift the machine up in a nice stable manner. I moved the pallet out of the way, and as space was a bit of an issue, I moved the car forward. Now these straps are technically for lashing only and not for lifting, and that is a really important thing to know. But for me, in my mind, these straps are rated to hold 2.5 ton loads, and if they're not able to lift a 300 kilo machine, I don't really think they'll be capable of holding a load that great. So I feel comfortable in doing that. Now I wouldn't want to use anything smaller than a 2 ton strap just because the webbing isn't up to the same sort of standard, and the hardware or the ratcheting mechanism isn't very good either. But these big straps like this, I'm happy to do it, but do be aware it's not the correct thing to do, and it's completely up to you if you feel comfortable in doing the same. So with the machine off the trailer, getting it into position is super easy, especially if you're using your garage as your workshop. So you'll just move the crane into position and lower the machine down. Now for me, access is a little bit tight, so instead I just lowered the machine onto a mobile dolly, and then I just wheeled it into final position. So that's it. That's my method for moving big heavy machines from point A to point B unassisted. Now I'd love to hear how you guys move your machines around, and maybe leave a comment below. So if anyone's looking at this video for advice, they can go down there, read how you do it, and maybe get a few more ideas. So like always, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button, because I am putting out new woodworking related videos every week. And if you've enjoyed this video, maybe even click that thumbs up button and share the video around. Now, if you want to help the show out, you can do that over at my Patreon page. So for a small dollar amount every month, you not only help the show out big time, but you also get some pretty cool things in return. So you get discounts in the store. At the higher levels, you even get free access to plans and all sorts of cool things like that. So if you want to know more on that, just head over to jordswoodshop.com/Patreon for all the details. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.